So, we all know what yesterday was. We also know that yesterday marked 14 years since the day that changed New York forever. But something about yesterday's date also could have affected my city. Now, I don't live in New York, but something about 9/11 could have actually really affected my town. I'm sure you guys have heard of something like copycat serial killers or copy killers or something. For example, if a serial killer murders someone in another way, say that person gets caught, but someone else kind of takes their place and kills people the same way. I know it's a terrible analogy and it's a really bad thing to relate it to, but that's all I can think of at the moment. But basically, people just do things to try to replicate something. I'm sure all of my American viewers, some Canadian, might know about the Boston bombing. That was during the Boston Marathon. Several bombs went off, killing and injuring several people. That was also considered a terrorist attack, just like 9/11 was. But something about 9/11 that could have really impacted my city was something that's actually supposed to happen tomorrow. My city was under investigation by the FBI because they had caught people instant messaging over the internet and stuff about a terrorist attack. They were able to hack in and read what these guys were talking about over the internet, and they realized that these people were planning a terrorist attack on my city. My dad woke up at 4 or 5 in the morning yesterday before he actually had to go to work, and when he turned on the news, they were talking about how they had stopped these 2 guys from planning this attack. Somehow they caught the messages, I'm not even sure how, but they were planning to do the exact same thing as the Boston bombing. They were trying to replicate it. But the thing about 9/11 is because they were doing it because it was 9/11. It was apparently scheduled for Sunday, which is tomorrow, 9/13, and that's extremely scary. They were trying to replicate the Boston bombing. The firefighters here, or like the fire department of my city, they were doing a charity event in honor of all those who lost their lives in 9/11. And so it was just kind of a gathering to remember that day and to remember those who lost their lives that day. And these people were trying to plan a terrorist attack to have a bombing at that gathering. And the scary part is, not only was it in my city, but it's a building that I've been to several times. I go to work with my dad every now and then. It's not like on a regular basis. It's usually kind of spur of the moment, but every once in a while I go to work with him. And usually when I go to work with him, we always walk around downtown. We stop at a restaurant and that's where we get lunch. And it just so happens that this building, it's kind of like the center of downtown. It's a really busy place, and I've been there when I was a kid for Take Your Kid to Work Day. I've been there as I was growing up. Hell, I was there 2 months ago. And apparently these firefighters or the fire department at this charity event, they were gonna climb every single stair set in this building. So it's kind of like a 5K run, how people run for like cancer or some kind of charity like that. It was something along the lines of that, except they were doing this in full fire gear. I'm sure you guys have seen firefighter training and stuff where they have to walk up the stair set on the exercise machine. They have to do that in their full gear to make sure that they can handle what they're wearing. Well, that's pretty much what they were doing. They were gonna climb every single stair to the top of this building in full gear and then come back down, and people would pledge money to see how far they got. So it's essentially like a 5K run or something just to raise money and awareness. And so like I said, the scary part about it is that this was supposed to happen at a building that I've been to several times. I guess they were gonna put a bomb along the stairs so that when the firefighters started going up it, it would just blow everything up. And also another way they were trying to replicate the Boston bombing is they actually filled pressure cookers with nails and all kinds of stuff. And when these pressure cookers blew up, the nails would go flying everywhere. They were talking about putting rat poison on the ends of the nails so that when it stabbed people, the rat poison would get into their bloodstream and kill them. Who thinks that psychotic? Who is that dark and demonic that they would just wish that on somebody? So I don't know. That's just, it's really, really scary to think because it's maybe like not even 20-30 minutes from my house. I've gone there several times throughout my lifetime. I'll probably end up going several more times. But the absolute scariest part is that my dad has been sick lately, so he was gonna go into work on a weekend to try to get caught up, and I offered to go with him to help him get caught up a little bit. And if we were to go to lunch during all of that happening, I might not be here.